Снайпер! Контакт! Прикрой меня! Я должен перезарядиться!
Well, at least Leicester Studio is still on schedule with their common test for 1.37. We are behind schedule for 1.30 on the main servers. Big September patch. No common test. 𝗶𝗶𝗱𝗱𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀😂 Alright, 3 new actual vehicles with some reskins and an upgunned Object 168G with a 122 now at tier 10, but this vehicle is actually the 𝗻𝗶𝗃 on our server from the super test. 617Q. Also free camera is broken because whatever, I guess. So no free camera. I have to do this with a mouse to do the rotation, but this is actually the Chinese 703 version number 2. Though their version is a twin 100mm compared to our twin 122s. So different caliber of the gun, but the model for the actual vehicle is the same. With the toolbox, with the commander hatch and the cupolas, but 𝗻𝗶𝗃, we covered it back in July, about a month ago. So this vehicle right here, just different muzzle brake, different gun. Yeah, it's this vehicle. Also, machine gun switch around on the Dushka. Interesting. I mean, the toolbox, the bustle in the back is about the same, but smoke grenades. Yeah, no more smoke. Also, they flipped the commander cupola and the loader cupola to different sides. That's pretty interesting. It is practically the same vehicle, right? From the looks of the mantlet, from the looks of the upper plate. Just without the splashboard, but yeah, kind of interesting how they're actually swapping the commander cupola and the loader cupola with the Dushka on top. The supposedly gunner sights are still there, but just the commander and the loader got swapped. It's a fictitious vehicle, right? They don't care. It's not real, but that's kind of interesting. Yeah, no more splashboard and the cupola got swapped. But it's the same vehicle. Mushroom vents in the back. Yeah, mushroom vents in the back. It's the same vehicle. The 𝗻𝗶𝗃. More like a T-34 turret. Like a large T-34 turret. It's slightly different. It's rounded too. Yeah, it's not a hexagonal shape. It's rounded. That's also kind of interesting. It's practically the same vehicle. So 𝗻𝗶𝗃 version number 1, I guess. But alright. The rockets are a little bit different. So we have the canister of a rocket. Yeah, the large canister of a rocket. I remember that. That's kind of interesting how the turret shape is basically the same but different. But still kind of the same. Alright. So Russian server 617Q 𝗻𝗶𝗃. Version number 1 or version number 2, whatever. But let's see the actual armor on this thing. Cupolas are still, yeah, pretty crap. It does have the gunner sights in front of the commander cupola, so that might eat the shot, but it's only 120 for both. Turret front is pretty thick. Rounded, sloped. Yeah, it's pretty thick. Driver hatch is actually 240, so that's a big plus. It's only 140, but it's sloped on the actual upper plate. So bottom plate, not bad for a tier 8. No side skirts from the looks of it. It's only 20mm tracks, but the side skirts don't count. It's only 70 on the side armor. 100 above the tracks. It's better on the upper parts, but Is it different on the sides too? I mean, it looks a lot bigger for the side skirts on our version, but also it looks like the clef is gone, but it's still there. It's just covered up with the toolbox right here. Right, this toolbox just covers up the actual clef on the engine deck, but it's the 𝗻𝗶𝗃 with a different turret, slightly. That's interesting. So let's see the firepower on this thing. 100mm twin guns, 2-second prep, 3-second lock. 4 seconds to switch between one gun after the other gun. But DPM could be okay. I mean, it's still okay. Not the worst. So actual prep time is kind of quick, 2 seconds, but lock time is about average. 8 degrees gun depression. Mediocre accuracy and aim time. It's an AP round, supposedly. But 360 alpha for a 100mm is not bad compared to 320 on the WZ-110 in a sense. But looks like APCR for gold shell, not high explosive anti-tank from the actual penetration. Yeah, APCR. So 256 for gold shell and 50 for high explosive. High explosive alpha is not bad, but seems okay. Our version is a 122, but I forgot all the stats. It's been a month and no refresher on the common test, so I forgot. Armor seems okay, just other than the cupola. And if this thing is mobile, you don't care about the actual cupola weak spot, similarly to the 5A in a sense. But 12 horsepower per ton ratio, double that with the rockets. 6 rocket charges, 10 for the actual boost time, 50 km/h top speed. Is it different on our version? Quick refresh. I totally forgot all the stats. We have better DPM, worse accuracy, faster aim time for some reason. That's interesting. Slightly bigger. Yeah, slightly bigger, please. Oh, it's tier 9. I forgot. I thought it was tier 8. It's obviously a little bit more DPM because higher tier. So definitely more alpha compared to the same gun, or different guns, but not the same gun. We have more charges of the rockets, just boost slower or smaller duration. But I thought this was a tier 8. I forgot it was a tier 9. It's better. Oh yeah, I compared it to the WZ-114. It's better than the 114, definitely. So interesting. Alright. So alright. Camo, heavy tank. View range about the same as the WZ-111 at tier 8. Yeah, okay. So basically their version of a 𝗏𝗵𝗃, just a different turret. Yeah, not bad, I guess, but 617Q. Now, tier 10 Russian heavy tank. Object 718B. Lots of cages and grill, especially on the upper plate. Again, no free camera. I apologize. Kinda looks like a forward mounted 703A. At least on the upper plate when you look at it, right? The turret is different, obviously, but kinda, it's a very angled upper plate. It's like the 705A. Just move the turret into the front. Bulging mini turret on top for possibly the loader to use the machine gun. Also kind of looks like a KPV machine gun, but the same thing that's on the Shoka, right? No, Shoka is 23. The KPV is like 14.7 or something, like 14.5. But it would be funny if they strap a Shoka, like 123mm onto the mini turret, onto the turret for anti-aircraft purpose. But yeah, it's also the 705A's gun with the muzzle brake too. Big caliber gun. Cannot even zoom in without the free cam, but lots of cages on the upper plate, on the side armor. Looks like it actually elevate this thing too into like a fence for some reason, but possibly is considered as space armor. We'll have to see. 152 large caliber gun. So it is like a forward. It has a turbo mode that boosts into 400 more horsepower. Turbo mode on a 705A. That's pretty crazy. IS-7 crew loadout with 5-man crew. How good is the gun? Turbo mode will cut into your aim time. It takes longer to... Gun depression Russian 6 degrees. I mean, it's not 5, but still kind of meh. Accuracy meh. DPM meh. It's like a 705A, except turrets in the front. Yeah. 2,400 health. It's a breakthrough with that much health. It's not assault. Not bad for a breakthrough heavy. Same category as a 277 or 5A, but hull front. Space armor for the grill at 10mm against high explosive anti-tank, but upper plate is 170. It's only a strip of the grill, but that's enough. Bottom plate is well angled at 140. That's good. Just a cupola weak spots. Bunch of cupola weak spots on top. 150 for both the commander and the loader. The two loaders, technically. Actually, the gunner's in the front. Yeah, the two loaders. One's in the back loader, one's in the front loader, I guess. But, yeah. Upper plate strong, just shoot the loader hatches. Also with the mushroom vent in the middle. Eek. Side armor with the grill. It's only 90, but does have the space armor. Unfortunately, you cannot fully side script. There is a sponson supporting the drive wheel in the back, and that's only 70. I mean, it looks like a slope shape, a V-shaped hull slightly, but anywhere else it's possibly auto bounce, other than this sponson supporting the drive wheel, or the actual 90mm of actual armor. So yeah, mostly hull towards the front. Don't side scrape too much. You're exposing the 90mm cheeks as well. Does have the grill a little bit, but not much. Is it fast? Turbo mode. 17 horsepower per ton ratio with the turbo mode on a heavy tank. 11.5 usually. 40. Just play the IS-7, right? Why bother when you have IS-7 with 17 horsepower per ton ratio, normally, without the turbo mode? It doesn't have the cupola weak spots. Yeah, why not just play the IS-7? IS-7 just outclassed this thing. It does have the alpha punch, I mean, surprising alpha, but that's the only good thing about it. Yeah, just play the IS-7. IS-7 is such a strange relic of the past, but still very meta, if you know how to play this vehicle right. Yeah, 17.8 with a... I don't even have the turbocharger on this thing compared to... Yeah, compared to stuff like the 260. This thing is 21, no? With the special turbocharger. But yeah, without even having turbo mode, this thing could just reach the same horsepower per ton ratio and better top speed with the crew perk. But then again, Russians don't have the crew skills difference. Whatever, but still. 45 compared to 69. 69? No, 64. Alright, close. But still, just play the IS-7. Does weigh 70-ish tons. IS-7 is also pretty heavy. Yeah, 70-ish tons. So it's just IS-7 with more steps and a bigger gun, but more steps to reach the actual power levels. Doesn't have camo, so don't worry about turbo mode camo. Nah, view range could be better, but yeah, it's a forward mounted when you think about it. 705A, just not as good side armor, right? Side armor could be a lot better. Yeah, also better turret, but yeah. Is it the only forward mounted with a 750 Alpha gun heavy tank for the Russians? Possibly. I cannot think of any. It's always the 122s or 130 for a Russian heavy tank, other than the 705A. Yeah, forward mounted big caliber gun, Russian heavy. The first of its kind, but lots of weak spots. Alright, moving on. The Russian server doesn't have the DBV-152. They're actually getting the Taran, SU-152 Taran, in its place. It's a real vehicle, by the way. Not like the DBV, but the turret is definitely not as strong as the Czech version. Czech version has like 120. This thing has only 30mm turret armor. Does have the slope upper plate, but it's like 90-ish, I believe, or something like that. It's not that strong. So any turret shot will go through, but does have the maneuverability similarly to the DBV, supposedly, but it's a big ass turret with a big caliber gun. Yeah, 152. No special modes or gimmicks, but base accuracy could be a little bit better. It's a sniping vehicle, but anyways. Let's see. 2,700-ish DPM compared to the actual DBV. Yeah, they don't have it. Well, it came out this year, but they don't have it. Even with a rammer, only 2,750. So the DBV has better aim time and better accuracy, but the Taran has slightly better DPM with more gun depression. 9. It's a bigger turret though. Fine. Is this pseudo traversable turret? I cannot tell from this page, but it should be a fully traversable turret, if I remember correctly from 𝗶𝗶𝗃𝗀𝗃. But about the same turret traverse speed. This thing has more alpha, about the same pin. No armor, 70 at the hull front, not 90. And a very weak turret at 36. Yeah, this is just high explosive the turret. Similarly to the 4005, right? The ship barn. 70, 50. Yeah, you can also jam high explosive, but it's a very well sloped 70. It's 155, but normal AP will go through. High explosive will struggle, other than the 50 or the bottom plate. Side armors 50. So sniper, glass cannon, 20 horsepower per ton ratio, 60 kilometers per hour top speed, not bad. Camo, not the worst, 16%. Compared to we'll have the turbocharger, so about the same horsepower per ton ratio. And I have the skin. This thing has slightly better camo. Let's see without the skin. Has a phallic shaped muzzle brake. Yeah, better camo on this thing. 4% is a big deal, right? Yeah, 4% is a very big deal. But I mean, yeah, DBV I think outclassed the Taran slightly. Unless it has better view range, but not really. So DBV is kinda slightly better. Just a little bit less health, but not much. The turret front is the most important thing against high explosive, namely from artillery as well. So you don't get full damage from like artillery hits compared to 36 on the turret. But this thing has slightly better DPM at the cost of aim time and accuracy. Better gun depression though. It's slightly worse than the DBV, but not the worst. Definitely better than the Grove 15. That's no question. For the Taran, but yep, 3 new vehicles with a skinned Project 57. Already covered this vehicle. Oh, what the hell did I go to this page? Already covered this vehicle last time with the basic version, but they're putting this into Waffenträger boxes. They already put stuff like the Chog Panzerneck WZ-46 at tier 10. So the Russians invented tier loot box, and therefore it's already tier loot box again for this thing. French tier 10 autoloader. It's a slower AMX-50B when you think about it. Has slightly better trollish armor, but it's like a Samoa SM at tier 10. So we already made the comparison, but now it has a railgun looking thing for the autoloader. But Project 57. So our Panzerneck has a bigger gun, but at tier 9. And it's also not skin compared to their version, but Polish. We covered it last year too. The 𝗛𝗶𝗱𝗱𝗀𝗲𝗀𝗃. So I already covered this too last year, but yeah, they already have tier 10 tier loot box for Waffentrager stuff, so I already crossed that Rubicon. Their onslaught vehicle is a E100 with a flaming tiger thing that has very sharp claws. Flaming tiger E100. I mean, Germans with felines, but oh, it's animated for their flames too on the sides. That's pretty nice. It's a tiger thing. Yep. Alright, at least it's not like new vehicles, right? Especially new, so no incentive to actually put into efforts of playing Onslaught, for me at least, but they upgraded the Object 168G. They already have it at tier 8 as well with the 107. Stats is about the same as our version, very close, very close. But they have a tier 10 version of this vehicle. The same armor layout, except better top speed. Obviously more firepower with the 122, more DPM of course, more alpha and penetration. Accuracy is debatable, but slightly better horsepower per ton ratio and 70 km/h top speed. Same camo, better view range. Is it better view range? But better radio, obviously. So, yeah, okay. Imagine getting a Pershing with a 105. That would be kind of crazy. But then again, could the Pershing turret ring support the actual 105? Maybe a lower velocity version or a smaller barrel version, but same camo, better view range, even though it's the same turret and cupola. And finally, let's take a look at the styles for their battle pass. It's robotic or cosmonaut with a dog. Also, they actually put the WZ-121 for the actual thing. We haven't seen this vehicle featured. Actually, we have the snow version from way back when, but there's no 121B skin. There is animation and there is a crane, the ass going up and down, so it's always nice to have more animation. So that's good part on the Russians to have animation for battle pass vehicles and the skins from them, but what the hell canisters are those? Give me the arm movements. Move the arm. Cycle the animation. Cycle. Move. At the refresh. It's also burnt for some reason. Like a missile mark? I don't know. Like a hot streak. I need to look at the animation one more time. Yay! It's a crane! And the crane actually jiggles! Jiggle physics on my 121B or 121. Ah, that's cute. Alright. Next one is Centurion. Also burnt to a crisp. Animation. The actual little engine thing, but the Sputnik looking thing. No? Alright. Not the best Action X Centurion skin, but whatever. It's fine. Everything's burnt to a crisp too. Double check the animation if there's any. Wrong button. Nope, just with the ass. Just with the ass. Other than the smoke. And finally, 𝗏𝗵𝗱𝗱𝗱𝗀𝗀𝗃 with spider arms. Ew! They actually move. Ew. I think it's anchoring. It's not exactly spider arms, but Yeah, your arms are not supporting the actual weight of the vehicle, just for anchoring of the vehicle, but not bad. It's also burned to a crisp, but a bunch of canisters loading in the back too. Ah, so space themed compared to the spies for this season, for summer season, with the jungle, with the desert, with the Arctic. So it's a space theme, but alright. At least the Panzer wagon gets a skin. It's still being neglected after like 5 years of all tier 10s having skins, or even more than one skin. Yeah, this vehicle doesn't have a skin on our server. Does it? No, it doesn't. Similarly to the 𝗻𝗲𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗲𝗀𝗲, to the WZ-113G FT. Does the actual WZ-132-1 have a skin? I don't think so. So there's a few tier 10s without skins, but alright, whatever. Well, there you go, folks. The hidden vehicles on the Russian common test. So by the looks of it, we're not getting a 1.30 on the main server for the big September update. So 𝗛𝗶𝗱𝗱𝗲𝗀𝗃 for you. 𝗛𝗛𝗃 spit in my face. I don't care. But yeah, the 𝗻𝗵𝗃 is supposedly should be on our common test, but at least they're importing a different version slightly. The object 718B is more like a forward mounted 705, but big caliber gun, I guess. Play the IS-7. IS-7 is very, very good. And the Taran in place of the DBV-152. So yeah, Russian server has a different layout. They have our tier 8s as tier 10s, like the XM57. Tank destroyer, American. Also, the TS6 is a tier 10 tank destroyer, not a tier 9 heavy tank with Duke Nukem. So yeah, their layout of the tiers is different, but whatever, I guess. So arbitrary, like I said. Stats arbitrary, tiers arbitrary, but 2 more weeks until the actual big September update. So we'll have to see. But as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
На границе тучи ходят, ура!